we have several options for people to use, and it works directly with Airtable. It's integrated directly, and we're Airtable focused.
I love it. So, which one do you want to start with?
Let's do On2Air schemas.
Let's do it. Schemas. Hello, No Code Ops. Phil here, and today I'm joined by Hannah from On2Air. Hannah, how's it
Hello.
going?
Great. How are you?
Good, good, doing well. So good to have you.
Yes, thank
And
you.
usually we have someone come on the show and demo one product, but On2Air is a suite of products for Airtable, as you know, different Airtable applications that can be found in the marketplace. And today we're going to be reviewing two of them, schemas and backups. So Hannah, would love to learn more about how these the suite of applications even came to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So On2Air was started by Dan Fellers, and he has done database consulting and specifically Airtable consulting for several years. And he would build out these solutions for his customers, things like backups and forms and different things like that. And he just kept doing it over and over. And so he said, okay, we need to make these as apps for others. And so that's how On2Air came to be. We have 5 apps that everyone can use: On2Air Amplify, schemas, backups, forms. And so we have several options for people to use, and it works directly with Airtable. It's integrated directly, and we're Airtable focused.
I love it. So yeah, would love to. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's do On2Air schemas.
Let's do it. Schemas. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to share your screen and kind of walk us through an
All
aha
right.
moment that a user would have, like what would get them to, find schemas or want to use it, and yeah, I'll let you take it from here.
Sure, sure, yeah. So you can see here I've got my Airtable base, and On2Air schemas is basically a way for you to view the entire design of your Airtable base. You can view the relationships, relationships are a big thing in Airtable, so you can view how everything is connected. Sometimes Airtable bases can be big and overwhelming, and there's so many different fields and connections that it's hard to really understand how everything is related. So On2Air schemas solves this problem where you can view all the relationships. You can view formula references, what fields are connected to what, and really view an in-depth detail of what how your base is designed. And that's what On2Air schemas does. So the first thing we can look at is when you
Yeah.
can actually add On2Air schemas from the Airtable marketplace. We have right here, you just go into your app drawer and add the app, and you can try it out right away. So you can see here, when you very first add schemas to your base, it will generate all of your tables and all of your fields and how it's all connected. So what's really neat is you can really get an in-depth view on what your base looks like. So for example, here, this is a formula field. You can see each one has an icon here to tell you what it is, but we can go even deeper with that. So we click on this formula field right here, and you immediately get this overview of what it consists of. So we can see that the field type is a formula. It's a non-editable field. It is the primary field in a table. The formula is valid. And then you can actually see the actual formula here.
Whoa. So you're generating all of this metadata that is
Yes.
typically non-accessible to folks.
Yeah, and especially just to get an overview of everything. If you want to see a list of every formula that you have in your base, you can actually go in and filter and see all the fields that are specifically just formula fields, and then see them all. Um,
So I have a question
mhm,
on that front. There's a
yeah.
field that you have here that says is editable. How are you getting column level edit access? Because that's, I feel like, something that Airtable doesn't even do natively.
That is just going to tell you what it is, and as far as all the in-depth details on how we get that, that's not
Because
my specialty.
it's just
But
super cool. Because I
we
haven't
have
seen
some
that
cool
before.
developers. That's what it is.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, and another cool thing, just to touch on this, and I will later, but On2Air schemas actually will save snapshots of your design layout. So if I go in and delete a field, add a field, if I change a field name, I can actually take a screenshot of that. The same with the formula. So if I have a formula and then I change it and I saved that change, I can actually basically track a history of my formulas.
Are you able to then use schemas to roll back to that version, or not necessarily?
Um, you you can't roll back your base with it, but you can view just the history of everything.
Got it.
So you can manually go in and say, oh, okay, here's where this
But you
formula
can see
went
where something
awry.
broke in the past, or yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so more details on the field. It also shows you the referenced field. So you can see here we have in our formula the company name linked field and the date opened field. Well, we can go in here and see, oh, okay, here are the fields we're using in the formula. You can click through, and again, you
Oh,
get
that's
this,
awesome.
yeah, this big detailed information about this field. And it just shows you all the relationships for each field. And this is super useful for formulas and roll-ups and lookups and counts. I mean, it
I can imagine
just,
this, yeah, being really useful for someone who is just coming in as an end user and saying, huh, where's the data for that field even coming in from? Oh, here's where it's coming from.
yes, and especially, when you have a large base and so many connections, um, you can just kind of quickly see everything that's related. So another
Amazing.
kind of like I was talking about with the history, there is a history field here, and actually, let me show you one that um, has. Let me figure out which one it is. This one right here. So this is another formula field, um, but you can actually see where we've changed the name of the field. We've changed the formula, and it'll
Oh,
tell you what the
wow.
before and after is.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm assuming when there's multiple people at a base trying to do things, that I could see being so powerful. Let me ask you this. What is the big difference? Last big question for schemas for me is, what's the big difference between the schemas app that you've built? And I know that there's like a very basic one that Airtable's put out.
Mhm.
I think it's called base schemas or something similar to that.
Yeah, it's
What's
called
the big
schemas, I'm
difference?
pretty sure.
It's called,
Yeah.
yeah. What's the difference between the two?
The Airtable schemas app will basically just show you a diagram like this of everything. Okay, here's a relationship here. Here's the field type and things like this. Um, and that's good for just seeing like a snapshot. Okay, I can see here. Here's a couple of them that are connected. But if you want to get just a little deeper, into seeing again, like the relationships here, the references to your formulas, another neat feature is you can actually see which views the field is in or which views it's not in.
That's awesome.
So yeah, basically just kind of going more in depth. You're not going to be able to see the formulas. You're not going to be able to see the um, kind of
So it's
switch back
going a
and
few
forth.
levels deeper than just showing you the general schema.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously the snapshots on their schemas, or I'm sorry, the Airtable schemas does not have the snapshots. So anytime you make a change in the base, you'll get this little pop-up that says save schema changes. Um, and so you can just automatically go in here and create the new snapshot. There we go.
Very
And you can
cool.
switch between different, basically it's a history tracking. And then when you go in here to basically the list views, let me find a different one here. So you can kind of get an understanding of that. Some other cool things that On2Air Schema does that the other one doesn't is you can share your schemas, you can print it, you
Oh,
can
wow.
actually export to a CSV or a JSON. So you can take it with you and look at it in different formats and things like that.
Amazing. Super cool. Let's jump into backups.
Yeah, absolutely. So, On2Air Backups is an automated backups app for your Airtable base. So, if you've ever thought, I need to have my own version of our data, I want to have a local copy of our Airtable based data and just keep a duplicate version of your information, your business information in cloud storage. On2Air Backups is a great way to do that. It will, depending on the plan you get, you can automate it on a monthly, weekly, daily, or hourly. And basically, what it does is once you add, this is again an app in
Yep.
the Airtable marketplace. And once you add it, you'll connect your Airtable to On2Air, and then you can choose between Google Drive, Dropbox, or Box, whichever one you use in your company. And what will happen, it'll automatically start creating this backup of your entire base. You can back up all of your records, all of your attachments, and it will automatically send them all to a folder you choose in Google Drive, Dropbox, or Box.
And how is it sending those?
Um,
Is it like a CSV?
yes, it will send it. Each table is a CSV. Let me pull up kind of what it looks like here. So this is in Google Drive, and you can see here it goes through and it creates a CSV of each table. And
And
then
is it
it
replacing them
creates.
each time, or is it,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
It's replacing them each time. And so if you want to view like a previous version, just you'll need to use, Google Drive, Dropbox, or Box the version history.
The version history there.
Yeah.
I love that you're using their version history. Like, I
Yeah.
love that.
I mean, I duplicate it.
Well, no,
Um,
yeah, they're already doing
yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure. And so it'll just replace it in that folder each time that you do it.
And what are some of the main
Um,
use cases people are using backups for that they're not getting natively out of Air? Like, why is someone saying, I need to use backups?
Yeah. So we have companies like we have a marketing consulting company who basically creates an Airtable base for every one of their clients. And they have tons of Airtable bases with all this really detailed information for every client that they create marketing campaigns and content articles, videos. And so for them, it's more about, okay, well, it's great. We love to organize it in Airtable because that just keeps us moving.
Yep.
But we have tons of really vital company data. And if anything ever happened to Airtable, or if they ever changed, or we just want to have our data with us, so they back up every single Airtable base to Google Drive, including all the attachments. And so they have their own version. So if anything should happen, or if they ever want to change from Airtable, they have a copy of their own data.
How can people find out more?
Yeah, so go to on2air.com. You can see all of our apps. You can also just add On2Air schemas, On2Air backups, and On2Air amplify from the marketplace. So just open your Airtable base, go to the app drawer, click add app, and you can search us and add it to your base. We have a free version that you can get started with. And then if you need more features, you can upgrade from there.
Cool. Hannah, thank you so much. This is awesome. So cool to see people building on top of Airtable and thinking about what is the next level of infrastructure for no code. This is so exciting.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having us. And yeah, check us out. We have an introductory discount and would love to have you add it to your base.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks.